guys, it's Jason Price. Welcome to Hunting After Dark podcast with my co-host Justin Rumley. We are going to be doing another product review, and we have a product by Inferi Outdoor, distributed by IRA USA, guys. And this will be the GL35. This is their entry-level unit. It's in their Genie series, so it is available for you to look at and check out online, and any reviews and footage with this unit. But this unit has been pretty interesting. I mean, we were getting a lot of calls on this recently, a lot of questions about this unit, so we said, hey, we need to go out there, and we need to get out here on Hunting After Dark and talk about this unit.
Yeah.
It's one thing before I forget, because I know we're going to go over the specs here, and we're going to go through the spec sheet, but I know one thing I am going to forget. And that is that this is the upgraded mount on it. It does come with a standard mount that sometimes works a little bit better. Bolt action just kind of depends on your setup. And that standard mount's a little bit longer and does extend the eye relief back. So don't think that you are limited on this. So I wanted to throw that out here, that we have the American Defense mount on it right now. For you guys that don't see the video, is that they do have a standard mount that can push this eye relief back. So you are not totally limited to just an AR, guys. So just wanted to say that before I get into it, because I'm going to get down into the nitty-gritty.
Sure.
And totally
You'll find a way to forget.
I do like running the American Defense. I do like to be able to quick detach and be able to do this units, because we do pop them on and off and use them field test here and there. But let's get into it. GL35. So right now I know they're running a special. Normally at about $3,000, about $2,500 right now is what they're doing.
Good little deal going on.
You got
right
a little
there.
summertime special going on. So if you guys try to purchase this in the wintertime, the price is back up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you missed out. You're a little too late.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Should have jumped on that summer deal.
But there was a deal on this unit, and I will tell you, it's been a heck of a deal, and definitely has had a lot of popularity. And I think a lot of it has to do with several different factors, and we're going to go with some of the spec sheets of why, and we'll get into that here later. But let's go into the specs. So it is a 384 resolution unit, 12 micron sensor, 50 hertz refresh rate. So 50 hertz refresh rate, talk about those moving shots, being able to scope, be able to keep up, not an issue. This 50 hertz units have been great.
Yeah.
Their image processing, they're running their Matrix 3 core on this, and their Matrix 3 software on there, and then their core, they're running the Inferi Myco 2 384. And Inferi Outdoor has done really, really well with their cores. Humid environments. I mean, I know you've seen just. Yeah. I know you've seen the difference when we go.
They've been pretty dang good, especially with even with a little humidity. Shoot, that clarity on that thing's still pretty dang good.
35 millimeter lens on this unit, and so you do have a nice little 35 millimeter. It's not a 25 or anything that's smaller, so you do have a nice size sensor on there, and then it does have a 3 base magnification. Digital zoom, it does go up. Reading off the spec sheet, it's just 4 times, so I guess that'd be up to 12.
Yeah,
so
it's a 3x12. I was just playing with it, made sure on all that. Yeah, it went up in by increments of 3, so it went 3, 6, 9, all the way up to 12. So
something that I have noticed is a lot of these companies AMOLED displays here. So this does have AMOLED displays. It's a 1024 by 768, so it is a wider field view.
Yeah,
and so it does have a nice screen display in there. It's not small. I mean, if you guys, older guys may not have a little bit of trouble with looking at displays and stuff, this is a nice, clear display for you. So you shouldn't have any issues with this unit.
Should be able to see everything you want to see.
See everything you want to see.
And maybe more.
Well, the Inferi Outdoor, their color palettes, they actually have 5 color palettes. So it's the traditional white hot, black hot, the red hot, the color mode is kind of like that rainbow color mode, and then highlight. And the highlight mode, how a lot of it works is it does turn down the contrast of everything and then just accentuates kind of a fluorescent white on your target.
Yeah.
Just so you're not kind of distracted with things. Let's say you get in some brushy areas. I think it actually helps a lot bit. Tall grass, brushy areas.
I would agree also on that. Just being able to see, knowing that that's your target that you're looking at and, not something else you think it is,
Reticle types, they do have 7, so it's 2 dynamic and 5 static. Lots of reticle options here. I mean, most of the time with this unit, we do run like the little bitty plus. That way people can see the full picture. You know, I actually prefer the T that they
Yeah,
have
just
on there?
so your reticle's not the whole thing, and you're actually able to get some good footage on that for
Yeah,
people
so
to
so
see.
I run that all the time, but
Yeah.
it's not my favorite reticle. I mean, I
No,
just do it
it's
for the
it's the
footage.
people's favorite, just so they can see more and less reticle.
Yeah, but I mean, but that T, I will tell you that that's probably my favorite with
Yeah.
their units.
Oh yeah.
I like that T that they have, and then you can actually do it as black, white, red, or green. So you actually do different colors on there, and being able to do that T, I think it has you shooting level when you're making running shots, running that T just across, and you just split that animal in half when you run the top of that T. And I
Yeah.
think it makes it a lot easier, like quick target acquisition.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're able to pick up your target a lot quicker and a lot easier with that T rather than
It's like
something
me. It's like
little bitty on there.
I love them running shots, but you just get them in that plane, and then you get them in that plane. Then you
Yeah.
just got to get that crosshair to catch up
Yeah.
and throw it out there. Picatinny mounts is what it's with. So you do have to have Picatinny mount to use this unit, even with the standard mount. So you will have to have Picatinny rail to use this unit. It does have picture in picture, so you can get other zoom in there on top of what we had mentioned earlier. I'm not going to do diopter eye relief, but this unit. I'm sorry, I'll say this every episode. I hate reading spec sheets. So,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna read over it and then I'm gonna get into it on this.
Yeah,
on this
you might
unit.
as well let them know everything inside and out.
So you have video recording and audio with this unit. So you actually have those together. So you have video and audio on a $2,500 unit.
Yeah,
Well,
you can't beat it.
$3,000 unit, whatever it
Yeah.
ends up being. But
Almost at that point, it's hard to notice $500 unless you really pinching the pennies. But
yeah, because I mean, at 12 micron, 3D4, 35, 50
Yeah.
hertz refresh rate. I mean, it's a heck of a deal. But additionally to this, I will tell you that Inferior Outdoor has one of the best apps at being able to retrieve footage. And I know I've sent you stuff sometimes, all the time. And I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
that was from
easy.
that app. I mean, it was not from the computer, it's the PC. I mean, it was literally from the app where we
Yeah.
just sit there and cut it and I send it over to you. And that app works so seamlessly retrieving videos and then also being able to have access to those files.
Yeah.
I mean, they organize it well. I mean, in the field, I mean, we've, sometimes, we'll go shoot stuff, we'll go find something. I mean, we'll pull the videos off while we're
right in
walking
the
through
field, yeah. Just I think that's great. Just because if you think you made a solid lethal shot and you can't find the animal, well, boom, pull your phone out, pull the app up, and find your recording and check back through it. And just being able to have that app on hand and that quality, to work that well out in the field, just to be able to follow up on a shot and you ain't not able to find that animal. Shoot, there ain't nothing better than that right there.
I mean, the unit does have Wi-Fi streaming, but you
Yeah.
don't have to have Wi-Fi on and like record to the app or anything like that. Like literally,
Yeah.
just hit record in the unit like you always do. Record, you make a shot, and then turn the Wi-Fi antenna on in the scope, and then on your phone, and then pull it off.
That's
and
all
then
you
turn
got.
it back off. Save all your battery longevity, everything else, but then you have the video on there. And I can't tell you how many times you shoot coyotes, you see them go down, then you walk over there. If you don't keep eye contact,
And
the
of
whole
course,
time,
they
they've
ain't where
crawled.
you think they are. Never.
Yeah.
They never are. It's
And
crazy.
they're crawling. You're like, well, did he get up and bolt out of here by the time I grabbed the gun off the sticks or whatever and
Yeah.
got up there, or what? But being able to view that and be able to see, hey, did I make a good shot? He's got to be around here somewhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
he's sitting
especially
there
if you,
biting at it and everything else.
Yeah, and hunting in a tournament too, especially every time or every second matters. Say you thought you put a good shot on a cat on the brush line, and you go over there to where you think he was, and well, of course he never is where you think he is, and then you gotta, all right, no, let's go back and look at the footage and stuff like that. Like I said, every second counts, especially in a tournament, especially if that's the only animal that you need, and it is a good sized cat. Shoot, you need to be able to see, if you made that good shot on him, or where did he run? Did he go straight back? Did he go right? Did he go left? Like I said, every second counts, especially in a situation like that.
Yeah, before everyone goes busting out the lights and looking for blood and everything
Yeah,
else.
then that cat could be 20 yards in the brush, and then you'd start taking out all the lights and stomping around, and next thing you know, that sucker's 200 yards into the bush, and you never know where he's going to go from there, and you can't see him through the thermal no more.
Well, I mean, I will admit that I've pulled stuff off of the video.
Yeah.
And then, everything looks different in the dark,
Oh, yeah.
And I've sat there, like, had the gun back up and looked at the line, like, that tree's here, this T-post is there in the middle.
Yeah.
I've shot this way, the animal should be right about here. So I'm, like, lifting up the scope, comparing the video on my phone, looking, I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
at the right angle, going straight to it.
Oh, yeah.
And, that helps you sometimes, too, just being able to have a reference point to where to go find an animal, especially if it's,
Yeah.
like, real brushy and stuff or high grass.
It's helpful. being able to have all that video right there, you know, within a couple minutes, that's don't get much more beneficial than that.
Yeah, of course, this thing will hold 32 gigs, and then you can do some external power to this unit and pull all of your data off with a USB-C. So that is what's on here on their spec sheet. Additionally, when we talk about that you can run external power to it, well, this unit is pretty unique.
Yeah.
And that it has a dual battery system outside of just the external. So it has an internal battery system that we have here that says it's about 5 hours. And then it has an IBP2 battery system that's a removable battery here. They actually send you 2 of them in this pack. And that runs additionally for 3 hours plus. I had 4 hours per battery. So, I mean, just with the 2 IBP2 batteries that are removable, I mean, that's 8 hours. Not counting the internal.
That's plenty of time in the darkness. She did, especially around here in Central Texas. It's plenty. You know, I don't get. It's not longer than, you know, it's not dark longer than that. So that should be all you need right there.
Well, I just, you know, you think of that IBP2 battery, I just think you got an extra battery. You could leave it in the truck, charge it in the dock, and have it in there ready to go
for the next stand or something.
And then swap it out. You forget to charge the internal battery or whatever it may be. I mean, you can sit there and, you know, hot swap those out.
Yeah,
and be able to run with this unit and run this
very
all
helpful.
night long.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that was something that has been beneficial and been nice. You know, I don't have to sit there and worry, did I charge the scope? I mean, I can sit there and know I'm throwing something that's going to last 4 hours in there.
Yeah, easily.
While we're having something else charged. So that's been a real big benefit is the battery system. The weight is 25.75 ounces. So
not too heavy.
Extremely heavy.
Yeah.
One thing that we do always have here that people do ask us about is the warranty. Our USA has prided themselves on having a 5-year warranty. They also have a 5-day guarantee. So once they get the unit, they have to replace it or repair it within those 5 days and then ship it back to you.
Yeah, that's pretty dang good.
You know,
Can't really beat that.
I will admit, guys, it does not matter the manufacturer. If you were sitting around November, December, give them a break. Give these manufacturers a break because you go out there and you finally try to take this thing out and you've got every guy opening up the gun safe and pulling out their thermal units.
You're not the only one, you know.
Yeah, there's a million guys trying to get stuff repaired or looked at or dropped in the field or messed up in the field. They, you know,
especially around here in Central Texas, coming January 1st, right after New Year's, shoot, everybody's opening that gun safe, grabbing that old,
you know, it's just
old thermal out.
And it's just like, it's not like it's 2-3 weeks. I'm like, but if they get you 6 days, like, you know, bust the chops, you know, give them a little bit of break during the holidays.
Be thankful they got to you within 7 days, you know, 6 days. Shoot, that's pretty dang good.
Because there's some companies been out there that it was weeks before they got a reply back.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good at engaging. Of course, we're always willing to help out and help facilitate some of that as well. If you can't get a response with anybody, but you know, but they've been pretty good about it. I mean, they've been trying to. I mean, and then what's nice is that I get notified anytime your unit goes back.
Yeah.
So I like to know that how much of these things are getting sent back, how many units are getting sent back, and it's not many.
And how long it's taken for anything to get done.
Yeah, because I mean, we get all that information, and I like that transparency that even with the dealer, that our USA and Inferior Outdoor, they've been good about being transparent with us and letting us know when units are going back from customers, what units they are, and then when they're getting shipped back. And so we have that constant communication to where we know what's going on with you guys, and that makes sure that it's taken care of you. And they've been good. I mean, they've been good. I mean, I love their products.
That's the plus side to it.
I mean, we've had the manufacturing production team over here from Inferior Outdoor and talk to us about things that they plan on doing in the future. And I think they've got a lot of exciting deals. I mean, we mentioned to them, you know, we talked about the price point, you know, and they want to be competitive. And I think they've done that here with this unit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's hard to beat, you know, the price with this unit and the quality and you know, all the different things that you're getting with this unit. I mean, it's pretty dang competitive, I would think.
Well, and if you guys want some max recoil rate on this 7mm Magnum, which was my grandpa's old favorite, you can definitely run that on there.
Yeah. You either hear about the 7 mag or the old 30-06.
Blow holes in them.
Maybe 270 if you're lucky.
And it has a 300 Winchester.
Yeah.
Not 30 Winchester. 300 Winchester here.
Just in case you want to go out shooting an elk or something. You know, you never know. That sucker will hold up to it.
I was like, go throw some lead at them. But that was our spec sheet here running down the GL35. Now, as far as in the field, we did kind of mention some things earlier. I like to run ARs. I very rarely bolt action. Justin runs a lot of bolt action stuff. But this unit can be used in the bolt action form. You just kind of have that Picatinny rail conversion
Yeah.
on there. You may need to put you in a little rail clip or something on there to be able to run it, but doesn't mean that you're totally not able to use this.
Yeah,
So
you
this has been an
just-
awesome unit. You just may have to use the standard mount.
Yeah, which shouldn't
It
shouldn't
works
be a
just fine.
problem at all as long as you got that Picatinny rail on top of your bolt action. Shoot, you should be easily set up and ready to roll.
But I would say, as far as quality products, I mean, I've banged this one up. I mean, and this thing just keeps on rolling.
Yeah.
And I can say that it's very comparable to other infrared outdoor products, but also comparable to competition and what they're able to do with this unit. But I can say that it was I mean, this thing's light. I mean, it's like I feel like that's nothing when you sit there and pick it up. You know, when you sit there and go
I
from
mean,
that
it's
scope style to something that's real compact.
it's one of them deals that I mean, it's light. You know, it's not too heavy, overly heavy, but it's still got the strength and durability to where if you were to drop it right now, which I'm not that crazy, I'm not going to do it, but
Drop
this
test
sucker, I
live.
would be able to. Yeah, I was going to say I'd be able to pick it up right now. Still in one piece. So I mean, I don't think it gets much better than that. I mean, for this price range, the durability and and the weight of it, it's pretty dang good.
So I've been having a lot of guys call me and ask, they're going to run that American Defense mount on there, and they want to. I mean, American Defense is pretty much leading in the thermal industry as far as mounts.
Oh, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
return to zero. And guys are wanting to use it as handhelds.
Yeah.
Like pop it off the rail and put it back on. And guys do it all the time. Me, I cringe. I always worry
It's
that
tough.
it's going to be
It's
messed up.
tough to
But
do, yeah.
there are guys that do it all the time. And this is one of those units that are asking us about. It's like, is it easy to take off? Is it compact? Is it lightweight? It's like, yeah, it's all those things.
Yeah, it's
And it's like
it'll
you can-
fit every category you
Yeah,
you
it's
can
like you
almost
take that,
name.
You can take that sucker off. That little single lever locking quick detach, pop it off, pop it over. And usually I like to give them clips to put on their Picatinny rails to kind of mark, like in the dark, you feel that clip.
Yeah.
And you know where to put that thing back, and you not turn lights on or anything like that. So that's been beneficial for these guys that are kind of wanting multi-roll, dual roll as far as
Yeah.
what they're going to do with their scopes, and this one's perfect for that.
Yep, and there's been quite a few guys that just a couple guys call me every week just wanting to talk, and usually I'll answer when I have the time, which is usually not often. But here today on my way back home, had an old buddy of mine that's real big into hunting, and we were talking thermals a little bit, and he was talking, hey man, what's next in line to use as a handheld and be able to use as a scope, and trying to sell him on some different ones, but he's still kind of lenient on which way he wants to go. So I mean, being able to use one as a handheld and then clipping it back on and using it as a scope, I think it's becoming more popular. And, seeing it from a lot more people as the years as it go on. Even days. There's people making those decisions
Well, I
on
mean,
what they want to get.
Some of these guys running 640,
Yeah.
They go and pick one of these up, and this is their buddy scope. They may be using it as a handheld, but then they got a buddy scope
Yeah.
too.
A lot
Or
of
maybe-
people are doing that. It's
or,
crazy.
They're going out there with the boys or the girls, whatever, sons and daughters,
Yeah.
and running out there and saying, "Hey, I just need something for them." Like I've got my 640, I've spent my big amount of chunk
My
of
big
change.
money on this here. I'm
I
just
want
gonna
to know
toss it
what
to
they're
'em.
shooting at, and then they go and throw this on a gun, and it's
Yeah.
been perfect for them. And we talked about the Wi-Fi part of it, but I mean Wi-Fi streaming, how well this app works, and how stable it is. I mean, going out there with kids and stuff,
Yeah.
or just even your hunting partners. I mean, we do know some guides and stuff out there being Wi-Fi streaming. I mean, so you got the battery longevity, so the Wi-Fi streaming is not going to be a factor.
Yeah. Shoot.
Having
That's
issues.
the way to go.
And being able to Wi-Fi stream with it and see what they're doing live, and you can do the controls and things like that on there as well. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of hard to beat here for the amount of money and then the durability and things that you get with this unit.
Yeah.
Definitely has been a cool little unit to go and field test. But I want to tell you, and maybe I should hold this off for later, but I will tell you that I love the step up from this one. And what happens is you do have that IBP2 battery
Slow it down.
in this unit. Now, you can actually have that not replaced, but if you go to the GL35R, you actually have the laser rangefinder in there instead of the second battery port.
Yeah.
And it changes it up a little bit. But I can tell you, as far as a 384, it's still running the same sensor, all the same specs and everything inside, but with that laser rangefinder in that port instead, that unit is awesome.
Yeah.
That laser rangefinder in this is,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
is hard to beat in 384.
I was gonna say I've got talking about that unit. I've got a couple I wouldn't say stories, but I got some, thoughts in my head just, talking to some guys, like I said, over the last few weeks, talking about wanting a handheld and a scope to throw on their gun. And that unit with the laser rangefinder, it's been real popular and it's been talked about a whole lot just because a lot of these guys are wanting a laser rangefinder. Well, yes, there is some regular straight handhelds that have the laser rangefinder, but a lot of these guys are leaning towards these units with the laser rangefinder because they can, one, use it as a handheld, and two, like you said, it's their buddy scope. They can throw it on another scope, and oftentimes they'll use that scope because they're so used to that rangefinder knowing the distance of their shots versus the unit without the rangefinder. So, as we go on and move forward with these unit reviews, those laser rangefinders are, they're starting to become a big deal, especially with some of these guys who hunt competitively year in and year out. That's one of the big things that they're looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good entry level there in getting into the inferior outdoor products, but just know, hey, if you just wanted to spend a little bit more, wanted to kind of upgrade a little bit, but that laser rangefinder on this pretty much this exact same unit was pretty awesome. I mean, I really enjoyed that unit as well in 3D4. And, of course, you can go 640s and all these Genie series. I mean, and that is the biggest thing that Inferior Outdoor is working on right now is these compact units, laser rangefinders. And then if somebody's like, I don't need the laser rangefinder, well, we'll give you extra battery then.
Yeah, I was going to say, you get an extra battery or you know how far you're shooting. And, there's a lot of guys that are split 50-50. Oh, I like that battery life. I want to be able to do this and that with it. Then you got those guys that are like, no, man, I want to know I'm shooting 300 yards. So, just in case, the wind's blowing, 20 miles an hour this direction or that way, I know what I need to do to calculate. But, like I said, it's a 50-50 split, whichever way you want. Battery life, laser rangefinder. It's up to you at that point.
All right, for sure. And I can say that this unit has been one that it's been kind of interesting because it does get compared to other inferior outdoor products. We do get compared to the Bolt TL35.
Yeah.
We do have a comparison at Feral Texas Outdoors. We do have a comparison video of this unit, the Bolt TL35, and then like the Rico Bravo that they had at IRUSA, and being able to compare like some of those units in that price range.
Yeah.
This unit has been really good. I mean, now it's really their entry level one, but I mean, you can always go to the Bolt TL35. There's a little bit of difference because they went to, I believe, an LCOS display in the Bolt TL35 version 2.
Yeah.
So some guys have been doing some comparison of those two, but there's kind of a price difference right now. We don't know if it's going to stay that way, but you're kind of getting a little different display in that Bolt. But I mean, as far as something compact, I mean, this unit is really holding its own.
Yeah,
as far as
absolutely.
guys getting into the inferior outdoor products. I mean, and their family of products. I mean, they've stayed pretty good about releasing these things and then not immediately like wiping out the whole brand. I mean, they kept the Mark 1s around for a couple years now, and they still got them available now. But even introduction of these Genie series, it's not like you go and buy something and then the next year they've got it completely new. Like
they've
completely
abandoned it.
I mean, yes, this just came out, but it's going to be tried and true. It's going to be something that they're going to be sticking with, and they do their software upgrades, which are able to do via the app. So no one has to plug in a computer. But the thing is like the U.S. versions, though, they want to make sure that you are going through distributor. So IRUSA. So guys, I'm going to throw out my little disclaimer that you can do that.
Yeah.
But it's not the U.S. version. So just don't get little excited when you see that there's a new version available for your scope.
Yep.
So maybe hold on.
Make sure you always double check. Make sure you know.
Jessica's been getting on me that I need to make sure I'm telling everybody that I talk to about these products that, don't go hit an update. Just make sure you give us a call or go ahead and
just double check before you do it. I promise you, you're gonna want to double check.
Reach out with IRUSA, make sure that it's whatever you need to do, because there will be changes to these products, software wise. I mean, there's always improvements, and they've been really good about communicating those. And the hardware inside on these, I mean, you're getting top of the line hardware in these.
Absolutely.
And so, like I said, you're not going to sit there and like next year you're going to be having to go, I'm going to have to go, I'll buy new gear, because I mean, we have work manufacturers before where they're constantly updating things. And what you bought last year is now obsolete, and they've been good about that as well. If it's something that they can do software wise, they'll do it software wise. If it's hardware, they're going to sit here and run it. Run the high end hardware. They're not going to sit there and have some new hardware released next year.
Yeah.
So this is where they're going to be heading, going here in the future. And so this is going to be the GL35 in all its glory here. If you have questions, please reach out to us, and I'll let Justin close us out here.
Yeah, if you got any questions or anything, feel free to send us an email at huntingafterdarkpodcast@gmail.com. You can check us out online at huntingafterdark.com. And you can check us out on Apple Podcast or Spotify at Hunting After Dark. Thank you.
No, thank you guys.